attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Judge played his first regular season game at Coors Field last night, and he did not disappoint. Home run number 17 gave a lot of the Yankee fans something to cheer about. But the biggest swing of the night, that came from Ryan McMahon in the 5th inning. That was a double that drove in a couple of runs. The Rockies were able to close it out and take game 1 of this 3-game series. It's a day game after a night game this afternoon at Coors Field, and the Yes Network is proud to present New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Colorado Rockies from Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Hello, everybody. John Flaherty joined with Jeff Nelson again this afternoon. And let's dive in right into the pitching matchup, which is your Home Depot getting it done pitching matchup. And the Yankees have their ace on the mound today. Max Fried, 1.29 ERA against fellow left-hander Kyle Freeland with his 5.68 ERA. And Nelly, you can make an argument that Max Fried is the best pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Well, talk about getting it done. You've seen the numbers. He hasn't gotten off to a start like this since 2020, the short season when he was with Atlanta. He was 7-0 with a 1.96 ERA. Better ERA this year with the Yankees. This is what we're going to watch here at Coors Field because of the light air. He throws his fastball a lot, which I absolutely love. The 2-seamer, the 4-seamer, over 62%. The breaking ball, the break, will that play here? I think so because he does have a big breaker. He absolutely feels his position, and he controls the running game, even though the Rockies don't steal a whole lot of bases.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. 6 wins, a 1.29 ERA. Second best ERA, first 10 starts with the Yankees, and he's only allowed 2 runs allowed or fewer in 9 straight starts. We just saw the highlights. We just saw the numbers. Meredith Marakovitz is going to catch up with the Yankees ace, get his feelings before his start this afternoon. Max Fried on the mound for the Yankees. Game 2 coming up.
Field for Yankees baseball on Yes as the Yankees try to bounce back after a tough loss last night. Game 2 of the 3-game set coming your way in just a few minutes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. The Yankees will send Max Fried to the mound this afternoon, and they have to have a tremendous amount of confidence anytime he goes out there. He has been as advertised and then some since signing in free agency. He's off to an unbelievable start, 6-0, pitching to a 1.29 ERA. I caught up with him yesterday to ask him what he attributes the hot start to.
I'm just having a really good time with the guys. I've said it before, but the organization, teammates, coaching staff, everyone has been extremely welcoming, and it's been an easy transition so far, and I'm just trying to go out there and win as many baseball games as we can.
When you look at the team on the other side, they clearly are not having a good year. As a team, how do you make sure that you still bring the same intensity that you would bring against the Mets or the Dodgers or a team that is playing well?
It's a Major League Baseball game. They're one of the best 30 teams in the world, and you can't take them lightly, and especially in this ballpark, anything can happen. So you got to go out there and be on top of it, and treat them like anyone else.
You mentioned this ballpark. What are some of the challenges of pitching here?
The outfield's so big that a lot of the times you think it's the home run ball, but it can be a lot of the balls that land in front, and then things can kind of spiral out of control pretty quickly, just one after another. So it's important to just be on the attack, and if stuff does happen, you just got to be able to push it away and know that the only thing that you can do is get the guy at the plate.
And Fried's ERA is the lowest in Major League Baseball right now. As far as the Yankees lineup is concerned, Cody Bellinger is back in there. He'll play left field. Jason Dominguez, DHs this afternoon. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, John Flaherty will be joined by Jeff Nelson. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. And by Tunnels to Towers. Donate $11 a month to Tunnels to Towers at T2T.org. And by Hyundai. Test drive a new Hyundai today only at your local Hyundai dealer and by Optimum Fiber. Get Optimum, the fastest fiber internet. Don't take slow for an answer. Some of the great players that have been part of this rivalry. Colorado against the New York Yankees. A little bit overcast today. Day game after a night game. Yankees lost a tough one last night, and they'll throw this lineup out there this afternoon. Paul Goldschmidt leading off, playing first. Trent Grisham back in center field. Aaron Judge out in right, batting third this afternoon. Cody Bellinger back in the lineup, playing left field. Anthony Volpe batting fifth. Jason Dominguez, the DH today. DJ LeMahieu playing second base. Austin Wells back behind the plate, a day game after a night game. And Oswald Peraza playing third base and hitting ninth.
Well, there you see the numbers for Kyle Freeland on the year. High ERA, 5.68, 52, 50 and 2/3. Well, let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report for Freeland. Command the zone, 71 hits in 50 and 2/3 innings, so he needs to command that zone with both the fastball and his breaking stuff. Improved changeup. Really doesn't throw it a whole lot, but he's changed his grip. He may use it a little bit more here in today's game. And mechanical flaws. He's got a little hesitation in his windup. A lot of it is deception to try to get the rhythm of the hitters off, but he's trying to correct that a little bit, be more consistent in the zone.
Well, here we go. Game two. First pitch is a line drive base hit to left field for Paul Goldschmidt. Was 1 for 4 last night, off to a good start this afternoon. Let's take a look at the defense for the Rockies, brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. It's going to be Beck in left, Doyle in center, Freeman out in right, Shunk at third, Tovar at shortstop, Amador at second base, Talia playing first. Stallings will get the assignment behind the plate, Freeland out on the mound, and Hunter Goodman will be the designated hitter this afternoon. Bring up Trent Grisham batting second this afternoon. Grisham 0 for 3 last night with a walk. Yankees lost the first game of this 3-game set last night, a 1-run loss. Trying to even up the series this afternoon. Well, you look at Kyle Freeland and his pitch mix: 4-seamer, knuckle curve, sweeper. Throws a sinker, a cutter, and a change. But Nelly, I would say the stuff doesn't overwhelm you. Velocity about 91, 92 miles an hour.
Well, neither did Tanner Gordon last night for the Rockies.
Ground ball to second, see if they can turn two. And they do. A 4-6-3 double play. Pitcher's best friend. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, which is brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
No opportunities. You got to be able to capitalize on the opportunities. Not a whole lot last night, but when you get men on base, especially in scoring position, make sure they come in, especially against the Rockies. Apply pressure. You got to keep applying the pressure. I think you let one slip away last night. And get to the middle, guys. Try to get Freeland out. And that middle relief for the Rockies, that's where they struggle in that bullpen. Last night they did a pretty good job with Bird, Haverson, and also Agnos. The closer got his 3rd save of the year.
2 down, bring up Aaron Judge. Judge 2 for 4 last night, hit his 17th home run of the year, first home run ever here at Coors Field. So many Yankee fans in attendance last night, this afternoon, the entire weekend. Let's take a look at our home plate umpire, Andy Fletcher. He is hitter friendly, fewer high strikes, fewer inside strikes. Fletcher's been doing it a long time. 27th major league season. He's the crew chief.
We pretty much said the same thing about Gordon last night. Not overwhelming stuff, and look what he did. 6 innings of 2-run ball. His 2nd best start of his career. Last year he pitched against the Padres. He had a start where he went 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 run.
The Rockies won their 9th game of the season last night, 9-42. Trying to win a series this afternoon for the first time all year. As Judge skies one to right field, we'll see if it carries deep and gone. Aaron Judge does it again. Home run number 18, and the Yankees are on the board early, 1-0.
He's making sure his first time as a regular here in Colorado is working. This ball just carries over that right field fence, that high fence there out in right center field. He got a fastball, a 3-2 fastball, and crushed it.
Home run number 18, RBI number 46, leads Major League Baseball with those 18 home runs. Having some kind of season. With 2 down to bring up Cody Bellinger back in the lineup this afternoon. Had the night off last night. Another look at the swing.
Now he let that fastball travel. He has such great power. It's hit everywhere in the outfield. That ball went 405 feet in the Rockies bullpen. He regains the home run lead now. He's tied with Ohtani, Schwarber, and Kyle.
Bellinger rips one to right center field. Freeman comes up with it. The throw to second going to be off the mark, and a hustle double for Bellinger with 2 down.
Well, he gets a sweeper up in the zone, and here in Colorado, no matter if you're home or away, that ball's not going to break. Stayed out over the middle of the plate. He sees that ball getting that right center field gap, and he's sinking 2 all the way. Freeman doesn't have a bad arm out there in right field. Good hustle by Bellinger.
2 down. Here comes Anthony Volpe trying to drive in a run. Takes a first pitch strike. Getting back to Bellinger, had that 15-game hitting streak snapped on Thursday, had the night off last night, but right back on track here with a 2-out double. Volpe rolls one over to third, Shunk up with it, and the throw in time to get the 3rd out in the 1st inning. But Aaron Judge, coming to Coors Field as a regular for the first time during the season, goes deep last night, number 17, and number 18 this afternoon. Yankees take an early 1-0 lead. Well, the Yankees take an early 1-0 lead, and they send their ace to the mound, Max Fried. And he'll face this Rockies lineup. Jordan Beck leading off. Tovar playing short, hitting second. Hunter Goodman, the DH, batting third. Michael Tolia, first baseman, back in the lineup. Brenton Doyle in center field. Tyler Freeman out right. Amador playing second. Shunk playing third. And Jacob Stallings behind the plate and batting ninth.
Well, the numbers for Max Fried, outstanding. The Yankees have won 9 of his 10 starts this year. That ERA leads Major League Baseball 1.29. Now let's check out the Nissan pitchers scouting report on Fried. The big breaker here in Colorado. I think the breaking ball will be a great pitch for him because it's 75-77, aggressive in the zone. He throws his heater a little over 60% of the time, 2-seamer, 4-seamer, and he induces a lot of ground balls. So the defense be ready.
First pitch, line back to center field, and a base hit for Jordan Beck. Let's take a look at the defense brought to you by Chevy. Bellinger out in left, Grisham in center, Aaron Judge out in right, Peraza playing third this afternoon. Volpe at short, LeMahieu at second, Goldschmidt at first. Austin Wells catching a day game after a night game. Max Fried out on the mound, and Jason Dominguez, your designated hitter this afternoon. Comes a shortstop, Tovar hitting second, squares around the bunt, fouls it off.
Oh, Beck over there, 6 stolen bases on the year. Max Fried does a great job of controlling the running game with that move over to first. He'll hang over there, that leg kick, he'll hang and try to get that runner to commit. And Beck over there on that first pitch was hopping back and forth. He wound up going back to first when Fried lifted that leg. And watch him. He's got a pretty decent lead.
Check swing, and he went around. Fried ahead in the count, 0-2. Well, Nelly, you mentioned the numbers on Max Fried leading Major League Baseball in ERA. He's made this transition to the New York Yankees look easy. And, you know, when I listened to him talk to Meredith Marakovits before the game, it just sounds like everything about being a Yankee he's relishing. That's a picked off. Goldsmith to Volpe, an easy play for the Yankee shortstop. And right on cue, Nelly, you called it. A good move from Max Fried.
Well, he does such a great job of just hanging there and making that runner commit. Great job. He looks home first, and he pushes the envelope with that 45-degree angle. And the key is him walking towards first. If you just throw and don't walk towards first.
There's a line drive. LeMahieu makes the play. 2 down.
The umpire will wind up calling that a balk.
Another look at that line drive.
Saw blade. Four-seam fastball inside.
I'm glad you bring up that four-seam fastball, though. I watched Max Fried pitch all year, and it looks like he has a little cut on the fastball, a little sink on the two-seamer. He's known for that big curveball that he just got a swing and a miss on. I mean, we're both experienced Major League pitcher, catcher, and there are times I watch him throw a pitch, and I'm like, what was that?
Right. You can see it. I think that four-seam fastball that got Tovar had a little cut inside. And you look at the speed with his fastball, 92 to 97. He'll throw the BP, get me over. Then if he needs it, he'll climb the ladder with 97. And then the curveball comes in at 75. That one at 76. One of the reasons why I think it'll play here in Colorado, you know, because it's so slow. A lot of sliders or breaking balls when you're throwing them in the 80s or high 70s or even that 93-mile-an-hour slider. That's when you don't get the break that you usually get.
A steady diet of curveballs to Hunter Goodman. He's a regular catcher for the Rockies. He's DHing this afternoon. Went 1 for 4 in last night's game. There's that curveball again. Dots the outside corner. That'll be the first strikeout of the afternoon for Max Fried. Yankees lead 1-0. It's time to check out FanDuel's live same-game parlay. Austin Wells to hit a home run this afternoon. Jason Dominguez to record 2+ hits. And Max Fried to record 7 strikeouts. Picked up a strikeout in the first inning.
I got mine yesterday with the Clark Schmidt 6+ strikeouts. I'm going to go with Wells with a home run.
Wells with a home run. Dominguez batting the designated hitter this afternoon will lead off the second. First pitch swinging, line drive center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit in front of Doyle. Let's take a look at our game time weather presented by Bigelow, the official hot tea of the New York Yankees. 70 degrees, 27% chance of rain, the humidity at 54%, and a little bit of wind at 10 miles an hour. Much cooler this afternoon than it was yesterday and last night. Well, Dominguez, a base hit from the right side, batting against left-handed pitching, only hitting 109, but that just got a little bit better with that leadoff hit. Dominguez last night single, walk, and stole a base. We'll see if he's looking to run this afternoon as LeMahieu up for his first at bat. 190 batting average in 8 games.
Well, if you're Dominguez over there at first, you got to get enough lead to be able to see Freeland's move over to first base.
Ground ball to short. Tovar up with it. It's going to be another double play. 6-4-3. Rockies middle infielders making it look easy.
And with a team that made 45 errors on the year, they played good defense in last night's ball game. Well, again, this is the second double play in as many innings. Tovar's a good one over there at shortstop, and so is Amador at second base.
Well, 2 down to bring up Austin Wells. Wells had an infield single last night. First pitch swinging, blocks it off down the line. That'll fall foul. And Nelly, you know I appreciate this. When Max Fried was talking to Meredith, he pointed out how well he's working with Austin Wells, and a big reason that Wells is back in the lineup today, day game after a night game.
How tough is that when you have a new pitcher coming over from a different organization and getting used to him? I know you have all spring, but spring's different. You know, you go and face and set up hitters differently. You go about the scouting report probably differently, and then all of a sudden the regular season, it's almost learning it all over.
Yeah, you're 100% right. When the bright lights get turned on and you get in a big situation where you have to make a big pitch, that's where a catcher needs to get to know a pitcher like Max Fried. And I also love the fact that Fried was talking about every start is different, right? I might go out there and not have the same stuff as I had my last time out there, and that's where a catcher becomes so important. Well, Freeland coming off a good outing his last time out, 5 1/3. Only gave up 1 run against the Phillies. The Rockies eventually lost that game 9-3. Good swing by Wells, fouled it straight back. There's the interim manager, Warren Schaefer. Kyle Freeland is a local guy. He's from Denver, playing for his hometown team. He has taken some of these losses personally. Rockies have only won 9 games. Freeland feels a little bit of responsibility for that, trying to get his season back on track.
We mentioned with Fried, the Yankees have won 9 of 10. Well, it's the opposite with Freeland. The Rockies have lost 9 of Freeland's 10 starts.
There's the resume. 9 big league seasons, 210 career starts. That's a franchise record. Fastball just missed.
Well, there's that hitter-friendly umpire that might have caught the inside corner. A 4-seam fastball. It always shocks me when the umpire's right over that right shoulder on the inside half and he misses it.
Here comes a 3-2 to Wells. Fouls it off. Well, the batting average not where Wells wants it to be, but the 8 home runs, 28 RBIs. Good run production behind the plate for the Yankees. And that fastball misses, so a 2-out walk from Austin Wells extends the inning.
Really good at bat there by Austin Wells. That was a 10-pitch at bat after getting that call on the inner half. He fought off some tough pitches on the inside corner to be able to work that 2-out walk.
2 down. Here's a number 9 hitter, Peraza. Did not play in last night's game. 1 for 3 with a double against the Rangers on Thursday. Freeland able to get ahead in the count, 1-2.
Well, Freeland's a guy that likes to come inside, especially to righties. Cutter in, 4-seam fastball in.
We'll check on Wells. Well, opponents are hitting .326 against Freeland this season. That's the 3rd highest in Major League Baseball. Check swing. Did he go? And he did. That'll be a strikeout for Freeland. That ends the second inning for the New York Yankees. Max Fried be back out on the mound. Yankees lead this one 1-0. It is time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Today's picture is from Gary, who is here in the Mile High City rooting on the Yankees as they begin this long road trip. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Looks like Gary has pretty good seats. Max Fried back out there for the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Tolia, Doyle, and Freeman. First pitch fastball, a swing and a miss.
It's like a home game for the Yankees. 47,000 last night. I'd say about 30 of them were Yankee fans.
A lot of Yankee fans walking around Denver. Memorial Day weekend. Nice road trip. Come out to Colorado, Coors Field. Take in some Yankees baseball, and we appreciate everybody tuning in this afternoon. John Flaherty, Jeff Nelson, Meredith Marakovitz. A Yankee fan doesn't look real happy.
Needs a ball.
Tolia, the regular first baseman, has had the last couple of days off to work on his swing mechanically. Gets jammed. Peraza in. Nice play. Gets him by a half a step. Nice play by Peraza.
No, it was a great pitch by Fried. You mentioned that cut on that four-seamer. Tolia didn't get out of the box very well, but a great play by Peraza, playing a deep third. Sometimes you'll see third baseman barehand that ball, but he did a nice job with that transfer out of the glove.
With one down, will bring up Brenton Doyle. Doyle was 0 for 4 in last night's game. And Fried gets ahead with that four-seam fastball.
You know, you hear Fried with his interview there about how every start you may have different stuff, and you may have different stuff. I mean, you caught a lot of starters bringing them into the game that have great stuff out in the bullpen. Next thing you know, they get out on the game mound, and it's like, okay, where'd that slider go? Where'd that curveball go? How quickly do you wind up noticing that? And it fascinates me. I know a lot of it is because the bullpens are in different angles.
Yeah.
I mean, very few bullpens are throwing on the same angle as the game mound, or same direction. So you're probably going to get a different wind angle with those breaking pitches.
Did I ever tell you my Mike Mussina story?
No. Well, I've heard a lot of Mike Mussina stories, but not maybe that one.
Well, both you and I know Moose could be a little, I don't know, maybe a little ornery before a start. And it was one of those day games after a night game. And I was in the lineup, and you know Moose loved to do his crossword puzzles in the training room before the game. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Fried. So I bring the lineup into him and I say, hey, you want to talk about how we're going to attack this lineup? And he looks at me and he said, no, not really. So of course, you knew me with my Irish temper. I stormed out of there and said, fine. And he comes up to me and he says, Flash, why would I tell you how I'm going to pitch this lineup when I don't know what I have this afternoon? He said, I'll tell you what, we'll go to the bullpen. I'm going to warm up. And when we walk from the bullpen to the dugout, I'll tell you how I'm going to get the lineup. How I'm going to get them out. And it was brilliant.
Well, how different is that? I mean, how different that is compared to now when you're going over. I mean, that's a perfect example of how a pitcher doesn't know his stuff yet.
Right.
And it's like, why should I go over the lineup? I don't know what I have. So nowadays you're automatically going over the lineup and say, hey, this is how you have to pitch, guys.
Hot shot to Peraza, flashing some leather. The throw off the mark, but Goldschmidt comes off the bag, applies the tag, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Max Fried. Goldschmidt, athletic at first base, getting it done. Yankees lead 1-0. Suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, T-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your Yankees gear. Back to the top of the lineup, Goldschmidt, Grisham, and Judge facing Kyle Freeland here in the third. Yankees an early 1-0 lead on Aaron Judge's 18th home run of the season.
It is a fascinating story, you know, with Mussina, and probably maybe a lot of other pitchers as well back then. We didn't have analytics, so you're basically going on some scouting reports, but with some pitchers like Mussina, how do I know?
Yeah, I think the thing about Moose is Goldschmidt lines one right back up the middle. His second base hit. Good start for Goldschmidt. Well, Moose was so different in the fact that he could be a power pitcher one start and then come out the next time, as we take another look at this swing from Goldschmidt, who's just been beating up left-handed pitching all year long.
That was a changeup, and he did such a nice job of keeping those hands back and adjusting. He's done that all year. That's what's made him such a great hitter.
Nelly, he came into this game hitting .538 against left-handed pitching, and he's already 2 for 2.
Well, he has a nice level swing. Last year got off to a tough start with the Cardinals, had a better second half. Now he's producing like everybody's used to seeing Paul Goldschmidt produce at the plate. Nice level swing.
Coming into this season, we were talking about the Yankees lineup being left-handed dominant and how opposing clubs were going to try to attack with left-handed pitching. Well, the Yankees have answered that. Big reason why Goldschmidt and Judge have just worn out left-handed pitching. Bellinger is a better hitter against lefties. It's a .268 average against left-handed pitching. Grisham 0 for 3 last night with a walk. 0 for 1, bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. And here's a 2-2. And this is down and away. Well, not surprising, Freeland has better numbers on the road, a 4.25 ERA on the road, 7.7 here at home. And we went through this last night. A tough place to pitch, spacious outfield, a lot of hits out there. Check on Goldschmidt. I think Max Fried summed it up perfectly. He said you're going to give up some hits here in Colorado that you wouldn't somewhere else because of the outfield, but you just got to stop it from snowballing and getting away from you.
Yeah, limited damage.
Yep.
Make your pitches. And when you do get in trouble, don't get rattled out there. And that's what I think affects a lot of pitchers, is once they start getting a lot of traffic on the base pass, they start getting rattled out on the mound, thinking that they have to make a perfect pitch, and there's really no perfect pitch.
I always remember it being a mindset when we used to go through the pitcher catcher meetings before a series here in Colorado. As Grisham fouls that one off, and it's just hang in there, right? You're going to give up some runs. Probably going to be a high scoring game, although last night a 1-run loss for the Yankees.
I only played one series here. I didn't get the pitch in that series, so I'm not really that disappointed about it. But you're right. You know, you go over and the pitchers have to realize that, you know, things are going to go haywire every once in a while, but don't let them snowball on you.
Yeah, stay away from the big innings. There's the backup Stallings behind the plate this afternoon. There's a good fastball. Dots the outside corner, down and away. Let's take a look at our Audi electric moment. Experience a full electric Audi vehicle at your local tri-state Audi dealer today. We'll go back to the first inning. Nelly, Aaron Judge's 18th home run of the year.
Well, center cut fastball, and he just takes it the opposite way. 405 feet, number 18 on the year.
Batting average at .401. And Aaron Boone had some comments about Aaron Judge before the game with the media and was talking about he just doesn't expand out of the strike zone like maybe he did in years past. That is a long fly ball, left center field. Beck is going to settle underneath it. Now the center fielder Doyle comes over to make the play. And Aaron Judge just missed another one.
Yeah, it looked like that four-seam fastball got in on him a little. Last night, the relievers for the Rockies did a nice job of coming inside on Judge. You normally don't see that around baseball. They usually stay away. And that fastball from Freeland was inside.
Two down, bring up Cody Bellinger. Had a hustle double in the first inning. Left-handed pitching has been no problem for Bellinger this year, hitting close to 400. Now 412 after that double in the first inning. Couple of home runs, 12 RBIs. A lot of the great left-handed hitters that we played with would tell you facing a lefty kind of gets them back on track. Middle of the field, stay in there, drive the ball the other way.
And nowadays, when you're seeing most of the pitches on the outside half, you're not really getting pitched in. You're forced to stay in there. You can't pull off against the lefty.
Freeland ahead, 0-2. Has a couple of strikeouts already. Good job by Bellinger just spoiling that fastball. Well, after a great spring training for Bellinger, he got off to a slow start, but now you look at the numbers. Over 260, 8 home runs, 29 RBIs. And there goes Goldschmidt. Stallings up with the throw. It's going to be short hop. And Goldschmidt's going to be in there with his 4th stolen base of the year.
Well, he's sneaky. You go on first move. Once Freeland lifts that right leg, that heel, he's off. And Stallings had to hurry his throw. Nice job by Tovar picking that up, but a little late.
Well, Goldschmidt into scoring position with 2 outs. Bellinger trying to cash it in. A lot of times a catcher behind the plate will pay attention to a hitter and how he takes pitches, but how he's feeling about himself. Bellinger right there did not even flinch at that breaking ball down and away. That is a good sign for him.
It's probably a sign that he's looking red, dead red, huh? Looking fastball. If he sees spin, he's going to lay it off. You're going to have to throw that for a strike in order to get him out.
I think you brought up a good point, too. Probably looking middle away, trusting that Freeland can't get that fastball in there. Well, he lunges out at an off-speed pitch, so Freeland's going to win that battle. Yankees had a leadoff base hit in the 3rd, could not cash in. Max Fried back out on the mound. The Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Mohegan Sun. Something's always happening at Mohegan. And by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. The beautiful afternoon. Denver, Colorado. Yankees 1 run on 5 hits. 7-8-9 for the Rockies. Amador pushes a bunt right to Goldschmidt. Going to be an easy play. 1 pitch, 1 down here in the 3rd.
Not a bad idea. He's trying to push that right in between Fried and Goldschmidt. He just bunted way too hard.
Only 18 pitches for Fried, 1 out in the third, and bring up the number 8 hitter Aaron Schunk playing third base this afternoon. Let's take a look at our leaders, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. And Max Fried with that 1.29 ERA through his first 10 starts as a New York Yankee. Only Phil Niekro was better. Nine games for Schunk. Ryan McMahon gets the afternoon off, the everyday third baseman. And McMahon had that big hit in last night's game in the 5th inning. Double off the center field wall, scoring a few was the difference in the ball game. And the 0-2.
We talked about in the open a little. The last time Fried got off to a start like this was 2020, the short season when he was a Brave. He was 7-0 with a 1.96 through the first 10.
Jam shot, and that's going to be a 1-out base hit. And Schunk just drops it into center field.
It's a four-seam fastball. It does have a little cut to it. He probably offsets that four-seamer to be able to get a little cut in on righties. That's how Rivera threw his cutter. He just took a four-seam fastball, offset it just a little, and then that release, that consistent release of that cut fastball, it was just nasty.
Number 9 hitter Jacob Stallings, backup catcher. I'm glad you bring up Mariano Rivera. Yesterday was the anniversary of his first appearance in the major leagues as a starting pitcher. I remember facing Mo in the minor leagues when he was a starter. And Nelly, I have to tell you, he just had average stuff as a starting pitcher. Fly ball to right field. Judge settles underneath it, 2 down. The fastball wasn't anything special, just had a mediocre slider.
Well, even when in '95 in the playoffs, when he was on the playoff roster for the Yankees and I was on the other side, and I listened to some of the hitters for the Mariners, and obviously the Yankees had no idea what they had, but they even said if they would have pitched Rivera a little bit more, we probably would have gone home and the Yankees would have advanced. He was that good, and he didn't have that good cut fastball back then.
Picked off again. Another good move from Max Fried. And that freezes Schunk at first base. So Max Fried making it look easy. 3 shutout innings, couple of pickoffs. Easy play for Goldie.
Watch his pickoff. Watch Schunk. This is how good a move. Schunk is over there first. As soon as he lifts his leg, he looks home. Had no idea that Max Fried was throwing over. The second pickoff today for Max Fried. That's incredible.
Yeah, such a weapon for Fried. You know what gets me, Nelly? When he lifts his leg, but he turns and looks to the plate. That as a base runner is what really deceives you. Top of the 4th inning, Yankees lead 1-0. It'll be 5, 6, 7 in the lineup. Volpe, Dominguez, and LeMahieu.
And you know, as a base runner with a lefty, that's how sometimes you can figure out their move. You know, sometimes when lefties will look at first base and they'll go home, and then when they don't look at home, they'll come over to first. They start getting into that pattern. Max Fried doesn't do that. He mixes it up, and plus he hangs there like the Karate Kid, like the bird doing the bird, and he makes you commit. You're better off just standing on the bag.
Well, I'm having flashbacks because whenever we used to face the Yankees and Andy Pettitte was on the mound, it would always be the meetings. Don't get picked off. He's got an unbelievable move, and runners would still get picked off. It was that good.
And guys, Aaron Boone was asked about that move a couple of starts ago by Max Fried, and he said he knew he had a good move, but he didn't understand just how good it was. He went back to 2023 when the Yankees were in Atlanta and Fried was on the mound. Harrison Bader was at first base, and Bader got picked off, and Boone afterwards kind of went to Bader and got into it a little bit with him, and how can you get picked off in that spot? But now seeing Max Fried on a daily basis, he's like, maybe I owe him a little bit of an apology. Shouldn't have been picked off, but it's that good. and it's that deceptive to hitters.
Yeah, you can understand it as a swing and a miss on a knuckle curveball from Volpe. Third strikeout for Freeland. 34 career pickoffs for Max Fried.
Well, if you're the Rockies and you get on base, you're going to have to get about a 2-foot lead, because anything more, you look at that chunk, he had no clue he was coming over.
Well, I remember the conversations about Andy Pettitte and his pickoff move, and I also remember the conversations when we played the Rangers with Pudge Rodriguez back behind the plate, saying he is going to be back picking all night long. So be short with your secondary leads.
Well, it's a huge weapon for a pitcher, a huge weapon for a catcher when you have that kind of arm, knowing that, hey, if I walk someone, give up a hit, I got a good shot of picking this guy off.
With one down to bring up, Jason Dominguez had a base hit in the second inning, batting from the right side. And you look at his splits, a almost 300 hitter career-wise from the left side, but a 109 average as a right-handed hitter coming into this one.
Oh, Pudge Rodriguez, Hall of Famer, but he had a reputation of only having one finger when he started putting down the signs, and that was fastball when you had a speedster on the base.
Hot shot, pulled foul. There are the numbers this season for Dominguez. DHing this afternoon, did a good job in left field last night. A couple of tough plays. And that ball hit to right center field. Freeman on the move, makes the play. And you can see the high altitude here in Colorado. The ball just keeps carrying.
One thing for an outfielder, you watch how this carries out to right field. It'll hang up a little longer here in Colorado than in other ballparks. You're out on the mound, you're holding your breath every single time the ball gets in the air here.
Two down. Here's DJ LeMahieu, hit into a 6-4-3 double play his first at bat. Coming back to the Rockies here in Colorado, where it all began for LeMahieu. 9 games against the Rockies, coming into this one hitting .438. DJ has talked on what a great field Coors Field was to hit as an everyday player.
Has there ever been a hitter that says they don't like Coors Field?
Well, I remember coming in here and trying to get the Blake Street Bombers out. Oof.
If you come in to Colorado and say you don't like to hit here, you should be playing baseball.
Amador comes up with it cleanly. A nice play by the Rockies second baseman. The Rockies come in with, as a bad defensive ball club, but they're flashing some leather this afternoon. Yankees lead 1-0. Coverage on Yes, watch the latest episode of The Story of My Number, presented by the New York Lottery, featuring Dwight Gooden. Then this Wednesday at 7:30, don't miss a new episode with number 21, Paul O'Neill, on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Bottom of the 4th inning, Yankees lead this one 1-0. 5 hits for the Yanks, 2 hits for the Rockies. And it's back to the top of the lineup for the Rockies. Jordan Beck, Tovar, and Goodman. Beck led off the game with a single in the first. Big swing and a miss on a 4-seam fastball. You look at Fried's numbers on the year, and he comes in just averaging just under a strikeout per inning. Really, the story of his game has been soft contact, a lot of ground balls. Only 28 pitches coming in here to the 4th inning. And a swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Fried. We're going to take a look at our Farsinga hitter scouting report on Ezequiel Tovar.
Well, his last 7 games, hitting .500, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. He's a doubles machine. Last year, he led the National League with 45 of them. He's going to be around a while. Long-time Rockies, signed through 2030 with a team option in 2031. He's a really good player. One of the bright spots here with the Rockies.
Yeah, line drive right back up the middle. Nelly, I remember we were here 2 years ago, and Tovar really opened our eyes to what type of a young player he is.
Well, he's a really good hitter. There's a fastball upstairs. It just didn't get inside. Well set up in. He's got a lot of pop as well. But he's a terrific shortstop. One of the best defensive shortstops in the game. And he was out for a month. The Rockies really missed him this year.
One down, bring up the designated hitter, Hunter Goodman.
I would bet Tovar, his lead might be a little bit shorter than usual.
Well, he has a couple of stolen bases on the year. Has been thrown out twice. Max Fried with that good move is going to hold him at first. And quickly ahead in the count 0-2. Good sinker.
And that's pretty remarkable as well. You know, usually when you're worried about the runners, or you want to focus on that runner at first, you lose focus a little bit on the hitter, and sometimes the strike zone. Max Fried doesn't do that. When you're hanging over the mound and you have such great balance and you're able to pound the strike zone like he does.
Nelly, you talked about this earlier with Fried, how many different velocities he covers with his fastball, and that is a nightmare for hitters when you're going through a scouting report and well, he can throw his fastball at 90, but he could also touch 97. Another throw over, gets away from Goldschmidt, bounces off the wall. See if they have a play at second to throw off the mark. Not quite sure what happened there from Goldschmidt.
Yeah, I think he wanted to make the tag pretty quick. It was a quick move from Fried. You watch, it probably is a ball that he should have caught, and it just hits off the top of his glove. Well, even sometimes at first base, you'll get fooled by Fried's move. There, it hits off the top of his glove.
You know, I've heard first basemen talk about the white shirts during day games, which would be a background there, which Goldschmidt maybe lost the ball in that, but that's not a usual play for the Gold Glover at first base.
As a first base, I mean, that just hits off the top of his glove, and maybe you were right, Flash, that he might have lost it in the crowd.
It's going to be an error on Goldschmidt.
And he's got the shades on, but as a first baseman with Fried and any lefty that has a really good move, you really have to hang in there until actually the ball is released to home.
Well, the Rockies have a runner in scoring position with that error, and Goodman has been a good hitter with runners in scoring position for the Rockies. 31 RBIs. Comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good fastball at 97.
Well, exactly what you were talking about. That fastball, the difference in speeds, 92, and then right there, four-seamer at 97. That's usually what he maxes out at 97 miles an hour.
Yeah, as a hitter, you always love those scouting reports that the fastball is 94, 95, and the off-speed is 80. So you could either look hard or look soft. With Fried, you can't do that. Covers so many different velocities. Tolia rips one to right center field. That's going to split the gaps, and that's going to drive in the Rockies' first run. Aaron Judge has a little trouble out in right center field. Tolia with the head-first slide into third with an RBI triple. And we're all tied up at 1.
Well, Fried likes to throw his fastball. This is just a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Tolia was really aggressive on that first pitch. And there you see it splits that right center field gap. Gets all the way to the wall. It sticks under there. And that's what allowed Tolia to get to third. A 2-out RBI triple. He runs out of steam here about halfway, but he made it.
Well, Austin Wells going to go out to the mound and give Max Fried a little bit of a breather. We talked about this a little bit last night. With a club like the Rockies, they only had 8 wins coming into last night's game. As far as the game goes and they're keeping it close, they start believing they got a chance to win. And last night they picked up the first game of the series, and here in the 4th inning they're hanging around.
You know, I'm not going to say this is a World Series. I mean, when you're playing teams like the Yankees, you never play like that. But, you know, when you have ball clubs like the Yankees that come into your park, you look at the crowd, they probably don't get crowds like this with normal teams, and it probably fires you up a little bit. And you look around that locker room. We talked a little bit about it last night. When you play on some bad teams and you look around, you're like, wow, how is this team that bad? There's some decent players in this lineup. I know the pitching hasn't been there. Well, offense hasn't been there either for the Rockies. They take game 1 and they're right back in it. It's not a high-scoring game yet.
Yeah, this takes me back, Nelly, to my Devil Ray days when the Yankees in the late 90s, used to come into town. Fried's going to work his way out of the 4th inning, throw a little bit wide, but Goldschmidt able to hang around. You guys would always put us away early and set the tone. Yankees, this is now got a close game, tied up here at the end of 4. The New York Yankees Foundation 50-50 raffle is now open. During every home game at Yankee Stadium, one lucky fan wins half the pot, and the other half is donated to the New York Yankees Foundation. Buy your tickets now at yankees.com/5050. Top of the 5th inning. All tied up at 1. Freeland back out to work. And he'll face Wells, Peraza, and back to the top of the lineup in Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, Flash, one thing the Yankees have to realize, you know, when you play for the Yankees and you put on the pinstripes, no matter if you're a world champ, you're defending your championship.
Base hit to right field.
You're always going to have a bullseye on your back. Yep. And every team in baseball, the other 29 teams are going to want to beat you more than any other team.
Well, I was talking about those Devil Ray days in the late 90s, and you guys used to come in, I'll never forget it, we would get big crowds at Tropicana Field, and used to have reporters say, are you frustrated that everybody's rooting for the Yankees? And I was like, no, it's just nice to have some energy in the building and have a competitive series. But I always felt like you guys would jump out to an early lead and kind of set the tone. As Peraza rips one to left field and deep. That's going to short half the wall. Wells around second. He's going to be waved home around third. The throw is not going to be made. As Oswald Peraza comes up with an RBI double, and the Yankees quickly respond, take the lead 2-1.
That was a great jump by Austin Wells. Great read off the bat. This is a cutter, first pitch cutter that didn't get inside. And it gets over the head of the left fielder back. And there you see Wells, he's off. And he knows that ball's going to get off the wall, and he's thinking about scoring all the way. There you see Luis Rojas waving him in.
Well, the bottom of the lineup getting it done. The Yankees respond here by taking the lead quickly in the top of the 5th. Bring up Goldschmidt, who's having a good afternoon, 2 for 2 already. Batting average now at .342. We've seen Goldschmidt in this situation before, thinking about driving the ball to the right side. Wants to drive in that run, but also advance Peraza to third. 21 multi-hit games this year, only second to Aaron Judge. Been so impressed with Goldschmidt this year when you watch him day in and day out, at bat to at bat. It's like he walks up with a plan. Okay, runner at second against a lefty. I know I got to stay middle of the field the other way. Drive him in is the priority, but at least advance him to third with less than 2.
And Freeland probably thinking, okay, now he's behind in the count. I have first base open. I have the lefty Grisham, who I've gotten to roll into a double play, and I struck him out in the third. They want to face him instead of Goldschmidt.
Let's see what he's thinking here. 3-1. That fastball misses, so the Yankees all set up here. First and second, nobody out for Trent Grisham.
Trent Grisham here, you think about maybe laying one down the third base line?
Why not? The only problem with that is Aaron Judge coming up next. First base would be open. You see Rojas can have a talk with him.
A fast and reliable connection backed by a 100% U.S.-based workforce. So you get the best customer service experience possible. Spectrum.
Well, there's Aaron Judge waiting on deck, and the pitching coach Darryl Scott out there to give Freeland a little bit of a breather. Grisham 0 for 2, grounded into a double play and struck out.
Well, the one nice thing, if you do wind up pushing one down third, getting the runners over, if you do walk the Judge, the numbers that Bellinger has against Freeland, 344, 6 extra base hits, and you just saw the graphic earlier in the game of how well Bellinger's hitting against lefties this year.
Well, the Rockies do have some action in their bullpen. First and second, nobody out. Ground ball right in front of the plate. Freeland up with it. The wild throw gets away from the first baseman. Peraza will score. Goldschmidt to third. And we talked about the Rockies defensively. They have struggled this year. Freeland can't make the play.
Well, it looked like he tried to rush his throw. This was the only play to first. And he really handcuffed Tolia, the first baseman. Had no shot of picking that out of the dirt. There you see, just rushed his throw. He lawn darted it, like aiming the ball instead of throwing it.
Well, Aaron Judge is going to be walked intentionally, and it looks like the Rockies staff going to check on Freeland to make sure he's okay. 2 on the board already for the Yankees, looking to add on. Another look at the play.
Well, he did a nice job getting over there. This is his only play. There you see, threw off balance. Rushed his throw.
Well, looks like Freeland's going to be all right, and Cody Bellinger with a chance to break this one wide open. Bases loaded, nobody out. For Bellinger, already has a double against Freeland.
Now, he rolled over on a breaking ball away in his last at bat. He's got to be looking away here.
Fly ball, left center field. Beck comes in. Goldschmidt's going to tag, and that's going to be a sacrifice fly. And Cody Bellinger to the Yankees add on. They now lead 4-1. One down brings up Anthony Volpe, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Well, it all started with an Austin Wells base hit, a double by Peraza, a walk to Goldschmidt. E1 when Grisham was up there, an intentional walk to Judge, and a sacrifice fly for Bellinger. Yankees lead 4-1, looking to add on. Hot shot right back up the middle, off the bag, and bounces away from Amador. Grisham around third. He's going to score. Be an RBI base hit for Anthony Volpe. 5-1 Yanks.
Well, the only play here was probably going to be to second base. You see it hits off that bag off of Amador. There's no way. Right off the top of the base. The only way you're going to make this play, you're not going to get Volpe at first, was to try to get Judge at second. Nice aggressive swing by Anthony Volpe right there.
First and third, one down for Jason Dominguez, a designated hitter. First pitch swinging, drives one to center field and deep. That will get the job done as Doyle settles underneath it. Aaron Judge tags up and scores. Another sacrifice fly. And the Yankees add on another one. And now lead 6-1.
Now you put the ball in play. You got some elevated pitches. Nice job by Bellinger with the sac fly, and right there by Dominguez. You don't want to do too much. You got runners in scoring position. Take advantage of the opportunities. Open up this game.
Two down to bring up DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu 0 for 2. And the Let's Go Yankee cheers are present at Coors Field. LeMahieu first pitch swinging, fouls it off.
And this would be a great opportunity with a big inning by the Yankees for Anthony Volpe over there to try to be aggressive on that base path. Maybe swipe the base, swipe the bag.
Well, Volpe has stolen 7 bags this season, has been thrown out 3 times. There's a line drive to right field, base hit for LeMahieu, and the inning continues as Volpe takes a big lead around second base, gets back to the bag. And it looks like that will do it for Kyle Freeland this afternoon. The Yankees pouring it on here in the 5th. Base hit for LeMahieu. The Yankees now batting around here in the 5th inning. Had put 5 on the board already. And looking to add on. Freeland had it going the first 4, but the Yankees got to him in the 5th. This year marks Yogi Berra's 100th birthday, and the Yankees have a special giveaway to help commemorate it. On Friday, June 6th, the first 18,000 guests will receive a special Yogi Berra U.S. Navy bobblehead that recognizes his military service, courtesy of State Farm. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com. New pitcher for the Rockies, Angel Shabihi, with his 5.28 ERA, last pitched on Wednesday. Throws a lot of changeups with a good fastball at about 97. That gets away from Stallings behind the plate. Volpe to third. LeMahieu to second. And this top of the 5th inning started with Austin Wells lining a ball to right field.
Yeah, that's a first pitch changeup, and that's got to be blocked, I would say. And he tried to backhand that and allowed the runners to move up. And Jacob Stallings, usually a really good defensive catcher.
The Yankees lead 6-1 on 9 hits. There's another base hit for Austin Wells, and that's going to drive in a pair. As Volpe scores, LeMahieu around third. He will score, and Austin Wells into second with an RBI double. Yankees blowing it open here in the fifth.
Well, second hit in this inning. He gets a fastball, four-seamer out over the middle of the plate. We watch nice level swing, real aggressive. He shoots it in that right center field gap. 2 RBI double with 2 outs. Big rally by the Yankees.
Good inning for Wells, who has been struggling offensively coming into this one. 2 down brings up Peraza, who had an RBI double in this inning. We're cooking up something special with Hexclad. See the Yankees offense in this inning, 14th 5+ run inning this year. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. Peraza now with 9 RBIs with that RBI double in the fifth. Well, the Rockies tied this game up in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Yankees answering here in the top of the 5th. 7 on the board already. Warren Schaefer, the interim manager, looking on. And here comes a 3-1. That misses badly off the plate. 2-out walk for Peraza.
Now that middle relief of the Rockies is what's giving them trouble. Yesterday their setup guys did a really nice job to lock down that win for them. Their bullpen 20th in baseball, 4.41 ERA.
Back to the top of the lineup, Paul Goldschmidt having a good afternoon, 2 for 2 with a walk. Wells off a second, Peraza off a first. That fastball clips the outside corner. And the 2-1. That misses down and away.
Would you say? I would say since the beginning, watching Paul Goldschmidt, I watched him a lot in the National League with the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. That his approach, pretty much like Freddie Freeman likes to go left center field. That's what he wants to go. Goldschmidt the same way, right center field, every single at bat.
Fastball over the plate, 3-2 count. You hear all the great hitters talk all the time about getting their front foot down early so they can recognize pitches and drive the baseball middle of the field. Runners on the move. Hot shot to right center field. Another base hit as Wells scores easily. Peraza to third. And Goldschmidt getting it done this afternoon. 3 for 3 RBI, and the Bombers just keep adding on here in the 5th inning. 9-1.
Well, look at the leg kick. It very much just lifts up that back heel, drops the front toe. Not a big leg kick or stride. This is a hitter's count. You get a pitch on the outside half, and he's thinking right center the whole at bat. You ever watch Freddie Freeman? Pretty much a similar style from the left side. He doesn't have the big high leg kick. He doesn't have the long stride. Just a little bit of the lift of that front foot and then down right away and shoots the ball the other way. Lets the ball travel, very comfortable in letting it travel deep.
Two down for Grisham, who's 0 for 3. Reached on an error, scored a run.
You think about it, it's almost like a 2-strike approach on every pitch.
Yep. Allison getting loose in that Rocky bullpen, the left-hander. Aaron Judge waiting on deck. Last night the Yankees struggled offensively in the second half of that game, only put 2 on the board, but 9 already. As Grisham gets into one to right center field and deep. That's going to be off the wall. Peraza scores easily. Here comes Goldschmidt. He's going to score another double and a couple RBIs for Trent Grisham, and the Yankees just pouring it on in the 5th inning, 11-1.
Well, Trent Grisham was the only one that didn't join the party as far as the hit parade. Well, that ended right here. 4-seam fastball. A little chop swing, and he hits it right in the center field gap. Right center field gap. You see, hits off that wall, and it is not fun pitching here at Coors Field.
Well, we talked about staying away from the big inning if you're a pitcher here at Coors Field, and the Rockies struggling here in the 5th. Big swing and a miss from Aaron Judge at a 92-mile-an-hour slider.
Well, every Yankee with a hit today in that lineup.
Judge with his 18th home run of the year. All the way back in the 1st inning, got the Yankees on the board. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and the top of the 5th is finally over. The Yankees doing some major damage. 10 runs on the board. They lead 11-1. Well, tomorrow after Yankees coverage on Yes, watch the latest episode of The Story of My Number, presented by the New York Lottery, featuring Dwight Gooden. Then on Wednesday at 7:30, don't miss a new episode with number 21, Paul O'Neill, the Warrior, on Yes and the Gotham Sports app.
If I was a reliever, I'd be hiding in the trees as well. Say, hey, I hope that when that phone rings that my name is not drawn or called.
Well, the Yankees lead 11-1. Max Fried back to work in the bottom of the 5th inning. I noticed Fried in between innings hustled out there out on the mound to try to get some extra tosses. Was sitting in that dugout for a long time. Freeman, Amador, and Shunk here in the bottom of the 5th. Fried has given up 4 hits, has struck out 3. This is with that changeup.
You know, anywhere else, 11-1, you pretty much have this wrapped up. But this is Coors Field. As good as Fried is, he still has to make his pitches. You know, there's no lead that's too comfortable here.
Hot shot down the third base line. That's going to be extra bases for Freeman.
you have a 10-run lead. You want to get back in the count. Four-seam fastball up. Freeman hits it down the line there. You see where Peraza's playing off the line.
Well, that'll bring up the Rockies second baseman Amador, 0 for 1. Well, you hear pitchers talk all the time when they have a big lead. They try to talk themselves into, well, it's still a close game. Stick to the game plan, the scouting report, what's working. It's a lot easier said than done. Ground ball to the left side. Peraza up with it. One down.
Well, you try to tell yourself, I wasn't a starter, so you try to tell yourself it's still a one-run game or it's a tie game, and you try to pitch like it. I don't know how you don't breathe a little bit easier when you look up on the scoreboard and see that you have a 10-run cushion.
Pitch count in great shape for Fried as Aaron Boone looking on. 46 pitches with 1 out here in the 5th. The great starting pitchers in the game, they know it's a responsibility not only to win ball games but to pitch deep in ball games. And you do that when you throw 33 strikes, only 14 balls. Some soft contact early in counts and pitch deep into ball games. And the 0-2 from Fried. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. The 4th strikeout for Fried.
Well, four-seam fastball upstairs. 96 miles an hour. It's on your chin.
2 down to bring up Stallings. '50th pitch for Max Fried. That misses up and away. A chance for Wells as Freeman cruises over to third.
That four-seam fastball got away. Heads up back there, even though the net's in front of you.
It's a nice curveball at 76 in there for a strike. Watch Max Fried after he delivers a pitch. There was a fastball that he was able to beat Stallings with, and you see him sitting there out on the mound kind of going through his process. All right, how did he look on that swing? What do I want to go with here? Hits the pitch comm to let Wells knows what's coming. Definitely a guy who pays attention to swings that hitters take against him and makes adjustments accordingly. There, that's 96 miles an hour. Stallings was late,
and that was out over the middle of the plate. Wells wanted it in. See that pitch comm on his belt. He'll go to it right away, relay that pitch what he wants to throw to Wells.
Here comes the 1-2. Goes fastball again. Hot shot right back up the middle, but LeMahieu had him played perfectly. So a leadoff double from Freeman, but he is stranded. We're through 5. Yankees lead 11-1.
Everybody, Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. Orioles Royals and Red Sox game tied at 5, bottom of the 10th, and Rafael Devers with a walk-off base hit that scores the designated runner. That is his 9th RBI in the last 2 games and his 2nd walk-off in 8 days. Red Sox win the opener against the O's. They'll play the game 2 of a doubleheader in about 45 minutes, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. We're going to take a look around the majors. Zach Wheeler having another good year, 6-1, 2.42 ERA. And Pete Crow Armstrong, 321 batting average with 8 home runs, 24 RBIs over his last 19. And Shohei Ohtani, well, he's going to start facing batters for the first time since elbow surgery. He's making his way back out onto the mound. Yankees lead 11-1, top of the 6th. It'll be Bellinger, Volpe, and Dominguez. New pitcher for the Rockies, Ryan Rollison. That ball driven the other way. Beck settles underneath it right in front of the warning track. 1 down.
Rollison fastball 92 to 93 as a curveball, changeup, and a slider. Mainly a 4-seam fastball curveball guy.
He made his major league debut on May 13th against the Texas Rangers. 27-year-old. His first look at the Yankees as Volpe shoots one the other way. 1 out base hit for Volpe. And the hits just keep on coming. 13 hits for the Yankees. Bring up the designated hitter, Jason Dominguez. Hot shot to the left side, another base hit.
Well, another opportunity to hit from the right side for Jason Dominguez, his 2nd hit against the lefty. Aggressive on that 4-seam fastball.
Well, you look at the swing from the left and right side and it looks pretty similar to me, right? Let's go with the top hand, gets good extension through the strike zone.
And you mentioned about that front foot getting down early. That was actually a changeup at 87.
I'm going to bring up DJ LeMahieu, 1 for 3, scored a run. Hot shot the other way, base hit. Volpe at the freeze on the line drive, so he will hold up at 3rd. So 3 consecutive base hits. The Yankees looking to add on here in the 6th.
Well, Volpe got a fastball, he hits the other way. Dominguez got a changeup, he pulled. This was a curveball that hung up there, and LeMahieu takes it the other way.
Boy, that is a classic DJ LeMahieu swing right there, inside out, driving the ball the other way.
If you're Rollison, you're like, I don't have anything else. And they're hitting everything.
Bases loaded, 1 down for Austin Wells. Two for 2, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Volpe, Dominguez, LeMahieu. 3rd to 1st. There's a hot shot pulled foul. Well, it all started with an Aaron Judge home run in the 1st inning. Yankees put 10 on the board in the 5th. 15 hits. And the 2-2. That catches the outside corner, second out here in the 6th inning.
Well, the curveball and the slider has not been there for Rolison. He paints a four-seamer on the outside half.
Now to bring up the number 9 hitter, Peraza. Peraza 1 for 2 with an RBI double in that 5th inning. .182, couple of home runs, 9 RBIs. The Yankees' third baseman. Single by Volpe, single by Dominguez, a single by LeMahieu, and now Peraza goes down swinging. Rolison able to work his way out of trouble. Bases loaded, gets a strikeout to end the 6th inning. It is time to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. .272 batting average, 43 hits, 20 RBIs. And you see the military service from 42 to 45. Manager of the Yankees, the Tigers, and the Boston Red Sox. Max Fried back to work, bottom of the 6th inning. The Yankees lead 11-1. First pitch swinging. This play by LeMahieu, 1 pitch, 1 down in the 6th. Brings up the Rockies shortstop Ezekiel Tovar, 1 for 2. Batting average now over 300. Max Fried takes the mound. Usually it's good news for the Yankees. They are 9-1 when Max Fried starts a game, and they are in good shape here with a 10-run lead, bottom of the 6th inning.
Now 4-0 after a Yankees loss. Max Fried is with an 0.53 ERA, 5 starts. Thought I'd top you right there. You like that?
I like that. We talked about Tovar and what a good player he has become. He won the Gold Glove his 2nd year in the league. Good offensive player with a batting average over 300, and he works a 1-out walk. Fried not happy with himself. Got to bring up Hunter Goodman. Couple of strikeouts against Fried. Ground ball to short. See if they can turn two. Volpe over to LeMahieu, over to Goldschmidt. A 6-4-3 double play. Nice turn by the Yankees middle infielders. Yankees lead 11-1. It is time for our Optimum Don't Take Slow for an Answer replay.
Well, this is in the first inning. Paul Goldschmidt, base hit. This is the third inning, another base hit. He just keeps it so simple. Going the other way again in the fifth. 3 for 3 with a walk. Another great day for Paul Goldschmidt.
Career against the Rockies, 159 games, a .326 batting average, 30 and 136 RBIs. And he's going to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Goldschmidt, Grisham, Judge. Shot right at the second baseman. Amador makes the play easily. That'll bring up Trent Grisham, 1 for 4, reached on an error, double run, and a couple of RBIs.
You know, I watched Paul Goldschmidt go by Aaron Judge, and they were talking about Rolison, the pitcher. What do you say to each other? You know, you have the scouting reports already on what they throw and maybe in different counts what they go to. What's that conversation about?
A lot of times it's, you know, you see the ball well, or he's a little sneaky with his delivery. And you know, we were talking about the great Mariano Rivera earlier, and if you would stand in the on-deck circle and you watch his delivery and you watch his fastball, you would think that you would have good swings every time, and then you get in the box, you just couldn't pick up the ball and it just jumped. So a lot of times those conversations between hitters in the dugout, on-deck circle is, hey, a little sneaky, get it ready a little bit early. Swing and a miss. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. Oh, 2 down. Here he is, Aaron Judge. 18th home run of the year in the first inning. There's a lot of anticipation for Aaron Judge playing his first regular season games here at Coors Field, and he has not disappointed. Got a home run in last night's game. Home run to right center field today's game. And a batting average close to almost 500 against left-handed pitching this year. Get the feeling when you watch Aaron Judge hitting against a lefty, all he has to do is look for the ball out over the plate.
Well, that's a righty as well. I mean, the last couple days I've seen a couple pitchers with the Rockies that I haven't seen around the league. They've actually pitched him inside a little bit more.
It's off the end of the bat. Fly ball to right field. Freeman on the move, makes the play. So a 1-2-3 inning for the Rockies. We'll take this one to the bottom of the 7th.
Time for your Ford Studio update. Bob and Jack with you. And the Yankees offense, after a quiet day last night, bouncing back in a big way.
Yeah, 10-run inning where the offense exploded. And one thing they did in that inning, Bob, they were extremely aggressive against Freeland. We talked about how the batting average against his sinker, fastball, and cutter was over 400. The Yankees attacked him early in accounts in that inning. And now they're rolling, trying to get 9 more outs and get the win that everyone thought they probably should have had yesterday.
We will talk about all that and more coming up on the postgame, guys. See you then.
Thank you, guys. Looking forward to that postgame. Let's take a look at our game summary. Yankees lead 11-1. Max Fried, well, he's doing pretty much what Max Fried has done all year long. In the Yankees offense, all 9 batters with hits. Tolia with the triple to drive in a run for the Rockies. And the bottom of the 7th inning starts. Only 62 pitches for Max Fried. Swing and a miss on that curveball.
And Fried's a guy that you would like to see every pitcher do is pitch. You know, read swings. Don't overthrow. Don't go up there and be a thrower. Don't hunt strikeouts. Try to eliminate hitters with the least amount of pitches possible.
Nelly with that pitch count where it is. I mean, you got to be thinking about a complete game here.
All right. I mean, you don't have a day off until next Thursday. You can rest that bullpen down there for tomorrow.
I love watching the pitchers when they go through their process, and I talked about this with Max Fried as Aaron Boone having a stress-free afternoon, and you can just see when Fried is walking around the mound how he's processing every pitch, every swing, and how to navigate his way through a lineup. There's a swing and a miss at a curveball, another strikeout for Fried. Well, that's a 6th Yankee strikeout, which is brought to you by Audi in the 2025 Audi Q6. Visit your local tri-state Audi dealer today.
And another thing he does is mechanically he knows how to fix himself. You know, along with going through pitches and reading swings, if he overthrows a pitch, if he's starting to drift out to home plate, the arm drags a little, he walks around, he says, okay, I got to stay back, you know, stay back over the rubber, drive this front shoulder to that part of the plate. That's what you would like to see as well, instead of having the catcher or the pitching coach constantly going out there.
Hot shot just out of the reach of LeMahieu. 1-out base hit.
And telling you what you're doing wrong or telling you to stay back. You would love to have pitchers to have that ability to understand when you're missing location. Why am I missing? You know, am I not staying back? Am I not breaking my hands? Am I flying open? It takes a while to learn your mechanics and figure out what you're doing wrong on the mound.
Talk to so many starting pitchers, you know, through our careers, Nelly, and they'll tell you, they're going to go out there probably 5 or 10 starts and they're going to have everything working, and they're going to go out there probably 5 or 10 starts where they have nothing, and it's those starts that you got to figure out a way how to keep your club in a ball game, how to win a ball game. And if you look at Max Fried, I mean, this is the 11th start this year. You'd have to say he's on a run where he's had everything working through his first 11 starts.
Well, you look at the 11 starts. His very first start, he gave up 6 runs, but the 2 of those were earned. So he has not had an outing that he's given up more than 2 earned runs in a start.
We talked about Mike Mussina before. I caught Moose a game at Fenway Park where he had absolutely nothing. Nothing. He gave up 3 runs like in the first 2 innings. And in the 3rd, he called me out to the mound and he said, hey, if you put down hook 'em horns as the sign, I'm going to throw a forkball. And I'm like, Moose, you don't have a forkball. And he said, I do now. And he literally invented a pitch in the middle of a game and got through 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. I remember after the game thinking that's the difference right there.
Yeah, and that's the difference between a Hall of Famer and, you know, a pitcher is probably a number 5 guy in a rotation. Look at David Cone. David Cone would do the same thing and invent different windups. Do the Louis Tion. He would pause at the top. I mean, you know, anything that you could do when you knew that you didn't have it that day is I got to try to find and will myself as deep as I can to get it into the bullpen.
You know, we were lucky enough to cover the Hall of Famer CC Sabathia through his career, and you know, I watch Fried, and he goes about it differently, obviously, but CC would give you that run of 10 or 12 games where he was just dominant. That'll be a 3-2 pitch here to Tyler Freeman. 1 for 2. Hot shot to third. Peraza up with it. Takes the out at second. The turn not in time. Let's check out our T-Mobile coverage cam. A couple of pickoff moves.
Well, here's Andy Pettitte, and one of the best, and that's what you do. You mix up your looks to first, you mix up your looks to home, and then you have Max Fried. And the key is hanging there and getting that runner to commit, but also walking it out. You know, once they go and they stretch that 45-degree angle and make it look like they're coming home, but they walk towards first base to make it look even better. You hang there, the umpire could call a balk on you.
Amador first pitch swinging.
In reality, it probably is a balk, but they're just getting away with it.
Yes. Well, these are the numbers this year. 6 wins, tied for first. ERA at 1.3, first. Slug, ground ball percentage. He's been everything that the Yankees could have asked for and more. Ground ball to third. Peraza up with it to LeMahieu, and Max Fried finishes off the bottom of the 7th inning. The Yankees lead this one 11-1. We'll take it to the 8th. Hey fans, the Gotham Sports app is your home for streaming live Yankees games and so much more, and it's free with an eligible TV provider subscription. Download the Gotham Sports app now or visit gothamsports.com to get streaming. Top of the 8th inning. Yankees with a very comfortable 10-run lead. They lead 11-1. Bellinger, Volpe, and Dominguez. Bellinger 1 for 3, a double and a sac fly. Yankees, this is the first stop of a long West Coast road trip. 3 against the Rockies. They'll take it out to Anaheim to play the Angels and finish up against the Dodgers. As Bellinger lifts a fly ball to right center field, and that's going to split the gap. Bellinger around second. He's going to try for 3. Amador with the throw, not in time. So a triple for Cody Bellinger to start off the 8th.
Now, we talked about how good he's been against left-handed pitching. That was a curveball down and away, and he goes down and gets it, and he shoots that right center field gap. Why not? Thinking 3. Once he hits it and sees it gets in that gap, he's thinking triple all the way, and it didn't even get to the wall.
Volpe, a hot shot down the third base line. That is a fair ball. That's going to be extra bases, going to drive in Bellinger and Anthony Volpe. Continues his good afternoon. The Yankees add on, now lead 12-1.
Well, another curveball down and in, and it just stayed out over the plate. Didn't get to that back leg of Anthony Volpe, and he smokes it down the third baseline for an RBI double.
Well, the Rockies defensively have made some changes. Third, short, center, and right. There's Jason Dominguez, 2 for 3. Swing looking a lot better from the right side. So Martini's in right, Moniak in center field, Freeman now at third base, and Shunk moves over to short. Some action in the Rockies bullpen. There was Mejia warming up in the bullpen. Curveball misses, so a walk for Dominguez. First and second, nobody out here in the 8th. An announced crowd of 43,186. A lot of Yankee fans in attendance this afternoon. And Darryl Scott, the pitching coach. Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. "12 runs on 17 hits. DJ LeMahieu with a couple of those hits, 2 for 4, scored a run. It was one of those games, if you are a bench player for both clubs, you know you're probably going to get a chance to finish this game out.
It's like a spring training game in the last 3 innings. All the replacements.
Hot shot right back up the middle. That's going to be another base hit for LeMahieu. Volpe around third. He's going to score easily. 13-1.
Now it's nice to see DJ LeMahieu get going here in this game. This is his 3rd hit. He gets a 4-seamer. And he just hits it right back up the middle. RBI base hit. That's going to be it for Rolison. But he needed this game to get back on track. Got off to a nice start. Quieted down over the last few games, and it's gotten off to a nice game here.
You see the captain loves it, and why not? 13 runs as the Rockies are going to make a pitching change. We will be back. The Yankees baseball on Yes is Brought to you in part by Untuckit. Find the perfect fit today at untuckit.com or more than 80 stores worldwide. And by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The pitcher for the Rockies, Juan Mejia, takes over, first and third, nobody out. Face the Yankee catcher Austin Wells, takes a four-seamer for a strike.
Fastball slider guy, a lot more sliders than fastballs from Mejia. For about 94 to 96.
He was just recalled from AAA Albuquerque on Thursday. Has been that guy who's been up and down a few times. Good day for Wells. 2 for 3, catching a day game after a night game.
Like Austin had a bunch of family in town. Saw him at a lot of Wells shirts at the hotel.
Okay.
He grew up in Arizona, didn't he? Not too far, about an hour and a half flight.
Well, it definitely will be nice for the Yankees to get this West Coast trip out of the way.
Well, and that's it. They go to Texas in what, I think in August, and then they don't come west anymore. You got to love that schedule when you finish off the West Coast at the end of May.
There's a 3-2 from Mejia. Swing and a miss. One down here in the 8th. Well, we were talking about that schedule. Let's take a look at it. The upcoming schedule brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Tomorrow night, Bombers will fly out after the game to Anaheim, play the Angels for 3, an off day on Thursday, and then 3 against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, the Angels have been playing some good baseball. They swept the A's a 4-game set. They won again last night.
Ground ball to second. See if they can turn 2. And they do a 4-6-3 double play. So a nice job by Mejia coming in and shutting the Yankees down. But they had a couple. 13-1. Hey fans, after the final out, get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and hear from the manager, Aaron Boone, on the Manager's Report. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Starring Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry. We'll break down this game and get you all set up for tomorrow afternoon's game where Will Warren will take the mound. Max Fried back out there for the 8th inning. And a new right fielder. Pablo Reyes out in right. Aaron Judge's afternoon is done. J.C. Escara takes over at first. Will Warren gets the ball tomorrow afternoon. Yankees got to feel good about that.
Yeah, he's got a great arm. With him tomorrow, it's just about early outs, trying to stay away from the high-pitched innings. He's got a really good fastball. I think that changeup's going to play well. The curveball is going to be interesting for him, or that slider tomorrow is going to be interesting to see how that plays tomorrow.
Nelly, at the beginning of the year, sorry, Meredith, you talk about Will Warren, kind of that graduation where you have to believe you're a major league pitcher. Meredith, it seems like he's gotten to that point.
The confidence just keeps growing and growing, John. I spoke to him earlier today, and you look at the stretch over his last 3 games, he's allowed just 3 earned runs over 17 innings of work, and he just said when he is out there, he feels more comfortable. And Jeff, to your point, for him, it's all about remembering to be aggressive early in the counts and get ahead. Now, one thing he did tell me, game 1 of this series, he actually threw a bullpen. He's curious to see how some of his stuff plays tomorrow in this elevation with the altitude. But he said he was talking a lot to Clark Schmidt, talking to other guys that have pitched here before to see how he might be affected out there on the mound. But truly, you don't know until you get out there. And to your conversation earlier, you never know on any given day exactly what's going to be working for you. But right now, the Yankees feel good about where he is at. He feels extremely good with where he is at.
Well, there's tomorrow's probables. Coverage begins 2 o'clock on Yes. And Aaron Boone making that long stroll to the mound. It looks like that's going to be it for Max Fried. 83 pitches for Fried. Looks like he's going to pick up another W. We'll be back. Here's our answer to Name That Yankee. Again, the clues: 272 batting average, 43 hits, 20 RBIs, military service 42 to 45, and manager of 3 different clubs.
Ralph Halk, maybe?
Yeah, good call. Ralph Halk. Good one.
Did you know?
I had no idea. I'm terrible at the Name That Yankee. Once
I am too.
Our producer Troy Benjamin has changed from there's not a connection like to the Rockies, Yankees. Right. I've been lost.
It's honoring the military, armed forces.
On this Memorial Day weekend, we thank everybody for their service. 944 wins as a manager, 5th in franchise history. There's the Silver Star and the Purple Heart. Nicknamed the Major. Now we have a new battery for the Yankees. Hamilton takes over on the mound, and Ben Rice takes over behind the plate. Stallings, a hot shot to the right side. Escara can't come up with it. Be a 1-out base hit. The numbers: 14 games. He's allowed 8 runs in his last 6 games, so an opportunity to get some work here. And Ben Rice behind the plate.
Yeah, this is a good soft landing. I mean, it's not really a soft landing here in Colorado, but when you have an 11 or 13-1 lead, you would love to see Hamilton go out there and work on getting himself right, pounding the strike zone with that fastball. Really the fastball command. Another brilliant game by Max Fried. 83 pitches in 7 1/3.
Good slider for a strike. Jordan Beck, the leadoff hitter. We've seen this a few times with Ben Rice going behind the plate to finish up some of these games, and Yankee coaching staff, I know the catching coach Tanner Swanson watching closely. Puts a lot of work before games in the bullpen on getting behind the plate, working on his receiving, his blocking, his throwing. And you get to see how it looks like in a big league game. There's a good swing and a miss on a slider. And we're going to take a look at our bullpen budget, which is brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. De Los Santos, Hill, and Hedrick yesterday.
Well, this big lead allows Luke Weaver to have another day after throwing 3 days in a row. Had yesterday off.
There's Nick Martini. Line drive the other way. That's going to be a 2-out base hit for Martini. Goodman 0 for 3 on the afternoon as Aaron Boone looking on, enjoying a very comfortable 12-run lead. Has to be a great feeling for Fried when you do what he did this afternoon. You get to relax in the dugout, shake some hands, and look forward to the next start.
Yeah, there's no going in after. They hang out in the dugout now. Usually you see pitchers after they get out of the game, they're going straight in the dugout, throw the ice on or whatever they do.
There's the 0-2 to Goodman. Swing and a miss, so a couple of strikeouts for Hamilton. The 8th inning, and Max Fried loves it. The Yankees lead 13-1. Let's take this baby to the 9th. We're back, top of the 9th inning. The Yankees lead this one 13-1. 18 hits for the Bombers. And J.C. Escaro will get his first at bat this afternoon. Took over for Paul Goldschmidt at first base. He had took over in the 8th inning, was able to get the Rockies out of trouble, help with a double play. Looking to finish it up here in the 9th.
It's a little chilly. Temperature's starting to drop out there. A little cloudy.
Half swing, he just blocks it off the other way. So J.C. Escaro with a base hit. Well, the Yankees scored 1 run in the first, and they blew this one open in the 5th inning, scoring 10 runs. We'll take a look at it. StatCast 3D brought to you by Google.
Now it all started with Austin Wells. You look, 10 runs, 7 hits. A lot in that right center field gap. And no home runs. Well, that's talking about putting the pressure on. The offense came alive today with the Yankees.
Grisham ground ball to second base. 4-6-3 double play. Two down, bring up Pablo Reyes. He'll get his first at bat. 19 games, 160 batting average. First pitch swinging, drives it the other way and deep. That's going to be off the wall. Martini with the throw in the second, not in time. A 2-out double for Reyes. Hits today, which is a season high for the Bombers.
And everybody's jumping on board. I think Rice has not had an AB. I think he might be the only one. Bibas has not played today. Pretty much every single one of the position players for the Yankees have gotten a hit.
Might be a little biased, Nelly, but love when those bench guys get in there late and get a base hit.
Why would you say that?
Because that's not the easiest thing to do. I lived that for my 3 years as a Yankee, sitting on the bench cheering for Jorge Posada.
Coming off cold.
Coming in late in these games. Boy, you pick up a base hit, that is a bonus. Good for Escara, good for Reyes, and now Bellinger having a good afternoon, 2 for 4.
Well, Jorge's only giving you maybe 10 games a year to catch.
He caught a lot. Line drive back up the middle, knocked down. It'll be another hit for Bellinger, who has been on fire. Had that 15-game hitting streak snapped the other day, but comes right back at it this afternoon with 3 hits. Anthony Volpe 3 for 5. I had a greater appreciation when I played with Jorge than when I played against him.
Well, just seeing how many games he caught.
Well, how many games he caught and how into his pitching staff he was.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get that feeling when I played against him, and then you're on the same team and like, man, he was invested in his guys out of the mound. Volpe skies one, popped up to the infield. Looks like that will do it. Tolia able to settle underneath it. With 13 runs on 20 hits, 21 hits for the Bombers. Today's injury report is brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Well, Fernando Cruz currently on the 15-day IL with some right shoulder inflammation, but good news. Played some catch today, will throw tomorrow, and could pitch off a mound next week. A lot of Yankee fans here at Coors Field, and they have enjoyed this one. 13-1, 21 hits for the Bombers, and 3 more outs before they pick up the first win in this series.
You know, earlier we were talking about catching and how you strived in yourself in getting pitchers through games. You know, the intensity, not knowing what they have on each day. Georgie was an intense player. I loved throwing to him. He caught David Wells a lot, and sometimes David Wells would think he might not have everything in the first couple innings, and he had to jump on him.
Yeah, and
he'd be a guy who would go out and talk to you, and it wasn't one of those, hey, pat on the back, hey, let's go. It's like getting in your face a little bit and challenging you. And you know, a lot of times that works. You know, it fires you up a little bit when you have a catcher that's really intense and comes out and gives you a little piece of his mind.
Well, when I'm listening to you talk, I'm thinking Jorge Posada against the Duke, El Duque. Those guys used to go at us.
And you absolutely love the intensity because you wind up, you know, Georgie gets the best out of that pitcher.
Yeah.
You know, he was a great hitter too. You know, if you look at some of his numbers compared to some of the Hall of Fame catchers,
he should have had some more consideration.
I agree. And the way he took walks, you know, I loved the way he, you know, styled a little bit, you know, at the plate when he dropped all the equipment and then walked down. You like that too.
You like that part.
I love playing with him.
As an opposing catcher, it drove me crazy when he would lay the bat on home plate, take off his shin guard, and lay it right in front of me. Drove me nuts.
Yeah, he expected you to take it to the bat boy. It was like a yard sale right out in front of home plate.
Remember when I made the Yankees in '03 as the backup catcher to Posada? Listen, I was at 35 years old at the end of my career, and the first thing that I told him when I made that team, that fastball just missed, slider just missed. The first thing I told him, I said, Jorge, I understand how good of a player you are. I want you to have a great year, and I don't want your job. I want you to go have a great year. I'm your backup, and I'm happy to play once a week. And he said he never had a backup tell him that. Like, I'm not here to take your job. I'm here to help you have a great year, as Hamilton picks up another strikeout to start the ninth.
You know, I was going through last night. I was thinking about the years that we had there in the early 90s and when we played together in '03. And I kept trying to think, okay, backup catcher. For the majority of my career here, the Yankees, it was Girardi and Posada.
Yeah.
And then as it got later, I was like, okay, well, Girardi wasn't there in 2000. Like, who was the backup? And I couldn't think of it. And because Posada's 155 games he's catching a year.
Nice play by Peraza. Yeah, that was impressive. 130, 135 games, and then he would come in late to pinch hit as well. Yankee third baseman flashing some leather.
Well, defensively, there's no question Peraza is a really good third baseman, shortstop, second baseman. He can play everywhere. He's got a great arm. No, it was Chris Turner.
Chris Turner, yeah.
Back in 2000.
Well, the Yankees 1 out away from winning their 31st game of the year. That would put them at 31-20, 11 games over 500. First place in the American League East.
Well, it's never easy for a reliever to come into a blowout game and then try to escape without giving up runs. But this is a great chance for Hamilton to get it back together. 8 runs in his last 7 outings.
Yankee fans looking for that final strike. Boone looking on. 13 runs on 21 hits. Max Fried did his thing this afternoon, and this should do it. Ground ball to Volpe, over to Scara, and the Yankees enjoy a laugher this afternoon. 13-1. Take the middle game of a 3-game set, and looking to take a series tomorrow afternoon.
Well, another great job by Max Fried, but the offense came alive, exactly what you expected. You expected last night, but some big days for LeMahieu. Outstanding job today. You look at Volpe, 3 hits, Bellinger 3 hits, Judge with his 18th, and then 3 hits from Goldschmidt. So offensively, an outstanding job and a great performance from Max Fried, their ace.
Yeah, Max Fried again going to pick up his 7th win of the season. The Yankees pick up their 31st of the year. They are now 31-20, sitting atop the American League East. A lot of reasons to smile. We'll be back to wrap it up. Yankees win 13-1. It is time to look back on our Cadillac drive of the game.
Well, all the way back in the first inning, it's a fastball off of Kyle Freeland. Aaron Judge, number 18, 405 feet, in the Rockies bullpen.
Got things going for the Yankees today, and they enjoy a laugher, winning 13-1. Time of the game, 2:41. Max Fried, his 7th win of the year. The Yankee offense, 10 runs scored in that 5th inning. Yankee season high in hits, and Kyle Freeland, his 4 2/3. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the W.B. Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry. Special thanks to our producer, Troy Benjamin, our director, Michael Cooney, Mike Webb, and our executive producer is Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us tomorrow as the Yankees wrap up their series here at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Coverage tomorrow is going to begin at 2 o'clock on Yes, with first pitch coming shortly after 3. Once again, the final score, Yankees 13, the Colorado Rockies 1. For Jeff Nelson and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm John Flaherty. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Now let's go to Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry, who are standing by very patiently with the postgame show. Guys, take it away.